How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a speed gauge bass that fits any track. Today we're going to be covering 3 different basses: a donk bass, a speed gauge Reese bass, and a warp bass. Using any one of these 3 basses will work on any speed gauge track. So let's get straight into it and see how it's done. Great, so if you have a look at the project, I've set the BPM to 135. This is a nice sort of starting ground for speed gauge. And I've also got this vocal. So it's the shakedown at night vocal. So we're just gonna be using that to build our bass line. I always find it easiest to build a bass line around a vocal. This sort of helps set the notes right. So let's click Insert MIDI. Let's open up Serum 2. This is obviously what it's gonna sound like. Complete shit. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start by using one of my packs. So I'm gonna set this Chatham preset. This is from my Speed Gauge Volume 3 Serum preset pack. This pack has over 70 presets for making speed gauge just like the pros. It's based on loads of different remakes from Silver Bumper, Soul Mash Transit System, Interplanetary Criminal, Bless, and many, many more. If you want this pack, the link for that is in the description. Just to let you know as well, I'm running a competition with a cash prize. First place, £200, second place, £70, third place is £30. The deadline for the competition is the 31st of December. All you've got to do in order to qualify is send me your best track using the sound from either Speed Gauge Volume 3 Serum Preset Pack or Speed Gauge Volume 4 Drums Pack. It can have a sound from either, hasn't got to be both. To enter your track, send a SoundCloud link to maxking.mp3 on Instagram or max.productionhut@gmail.com. Right, let's get on with the video. The sound we're using today sounds like this. And I'm just going to set the MIDI. So obviously the key is going to change depending on your vocal. So for this, for example, I just Google shakedown at night, key and BPM, and it will tell you the BPM. So then you can set it here, the BPM, 127 BPM, and it will tell you the key as well. Another good hack, if it doesn't come up online, is putting it in Record Box and then it scans it for you and it will tell you. That's sometimes more accurate as well. Obviously, you got to have Record Box, but it's free, so just download that. Great, so when I'm first writing a donk bass for a speed gauge track, I like to start by getting the rhythm. There's also a few different variants, but we can keep it quite simple. Something like this. That sounds good. Or you could obviously take back that first note and just do it along like this. You could also add like a double note here. Once you've got the MIDI in a nice sort of rhythm, then you can come and change the notes. So you basically just got to go for the purple ones, because obviously you set the key, so then we can just put it in the purples. And you just got to experiment. It's not always going to sound good at first. You just got to work it out by ear. Like for me, no. So that works for me. And then maybe up again. No, so let's go down. It's all literally trial and error. And then when you've been doing it for a few years like me, then you'll know that's going to sound good. It's probably going to be this. So let's hear it. But obviously, if you're new to it, then literally just go through and go, right, let's start here. And then, oh, that doesn't sound great, then you just go up, try that. And then it doesn't sound good, try that. And just keep going up until you hear one that sounds good, right? Just trial and error. To me, that sounds good. You could also try for like a long one. You could also have this all going along, and then the next notes. Like that sounds cool. And then you could even come and change the next note. So you could pretty much got the donk. You can then go and add some extra sort of voices. I'm just going to put it back to what it was originally. So what you can then do is add some variation. So if we just loop this, and you can add some sort of extra notes like this. And then at the end of this bar, so also we haven't got a double hit, then we could go up. So F, up an octave. I'll just basically drag that from there up to the other F. Then maybe switch it down like that. Like this. Maybe this. And we could even do like a sort of double. So actually we go up and then this is E flat. So then we find the E flat here. Like for me personally, on this particular vocal, I actually prefer it quite minimal. I feel like it builds a little bit more tension. Let's try it here. Try it up. Again, it's all just experimenting. You're never going to get it right first time. And it's all about sort of tasting. So you might have liked a few of the last progressions. I personally didn't. So I like that. And that's just this note. So what it's going into, but then it's obviously up an octave. That is how you make a donk bass. The second bass we're going to be making is a speed garage Reese bass. Great. So now we can convert our donk bass into a Reese bass. So let's just duplicate the serum. Let's just go for that first one with the elongated notes. Just drag that along. Just delete the rest. And mute that original bass. Cool, then let's go to serum and I'm going to select a Reese bass. I'm also using the Speed Garage Volume 3 pack, but if you've got any of the others, then there's obviously Reese's and those. And let's just start with a fairly simple one, this cutie one. Let's hear it. So it's obviously got a lot more tension than the donk bass. So obviously the donk bass. Right, sounds sick as well, but I'd maybe use that in the drop and then use this as like the sort of tension builder. With a Reese bass, you can really play around with the different octaves. I've just pitched this up an octave. Maybe leave that one as it is, and then we can do something with the end. So we can go up and then maybe even up again. Might sound strange, let's hear it. Maybe even do that again here. So that instead, let's go that up. Try this. I don't know what I prefer. Again, times like this, you can be like, oh, I don't know what I prefer. In that scenario, then I'll probably just do it like this here, and then I'll duplicate it along, and then later on the track, I'll have it up an octave. You got both variations. It's sometimes better than just like sitting around like, oh, I don't know what one's better. Just use both and just use it later on. And it creates variations so the listener probably appreciates it. You could obviously play around, maybe have a little one here. When you're obviously adding these extra notes, you're looking at the end of bars. So for example, say our pattern was like 4 bars, then you'd be looking to like make the changes here. So maybe you'd cut it back here, then you'd add that up, and then you'd find whatever this one was, and you do something like this. This is where you want to make the variations, this sort of like last part of the bar. You also maybe on the start, so you could add a variation here. So F up. But this sounds pretty dog. So maybe delete that. So yeah, something like this. Yeah, that's how you make a Reese. The last is the warp bass. So you could again use the same MIDI, just delete all this. Let's just change the patch, go to serum. I've got warps at the bottom. Let's split it into bars. So you want it like this. Just want to keep the same as the kick. So you could literally grab like a kick pattern just on every bar like this. And now you play with the notes. So warps always work well if you go up the scale. Let's go higher up. Keep going up. Something like this. What you want to do is then maybe chop these up. So duplicate that and then pitch up. If you want it to be really sort of powerful, just keep it straight on the bar. You can still add maybe a variation like this. Maybe pitch that one up. And maybe chop that in half. Go for a double. Cool, so let's hear it. Let's turn on the metronome and hear it with like the rhythm. You just basically got to chop it up. And again, say you didn't like that, just start again. And you can maybe... That's pretty cool. And also again, if you want to add variation, you can go for like a thing at the start like this. And then, yeah, you could adjust your preset. Maybe grab this. Or res. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you utilize some of these basses, especially this last bass. Great, thanks very much, guys. I will see you next week for another video. Cheers.